Hey there guys, welcome back. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to detect changes inside Roblox. Specifically, we're going to learn about the change event. And later in the tutorial, I'm going to show you a different way, maybe a better way to do it when you want to detect changes inside your games. So let's start with the change event. In the first example here, we have a ball in my workspace. And now let's go to our service script service. We're going to insert a script. In your script, just enter the following lines. Here I'm declaring my part, which is the ball. And here is the change event. So when something changes inside the ball, it's going to fire this event. We're listening for the change here, and when the signal is fired, we're going to connect to a function. And this parameter, the property change, is automatically passed in. So we know exactly which property of our part has changed. On this line here, we're checking to see if the property that has changed is the brick color property of the ball. If it is, we're going to print brick color changed. Let's now play test and take a look. As I enter the game, you can see the brick color of the ball has changed twice already. But now I'm going to go and give it a push, and the color of the ball should change a lot more. You guys ready? Here we go. You can see the color has changed 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. So each time the color of the ball changes, we pick up the signal and we printed a message, brick color changed. In our next example here, we're going to use the same ball, but we're going to listen for the anchor property of the ball when it changes. So again, the part is our ball. Here is our change event. We're listening for when the anchor property of our part changes. We're going to check the property, the anchor property. If it is true, means the part is anchored. And then we're going to print part is anchored. If it is false, means the part is not anchored. Then we're going to print not anchored. Let's go take a look. Basically, the same ball is going to change color too. When it's anchored, it's going to turn red. So right now it's anchored. And when it's green, means it's not anchored. And you can see the messages are being printed as the ball changes. So right now the part is anchored, it's red. And it's going to turn green. Right now it's not anchored, so I can move it. But then it's going to turn, see when it's anchored, it stays in place and I cannot move it. And now it's moving again because it's not anchored. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that physics-related properties, such as position and orientation properties, they are not going to work with the change event. The reason is physics-related properties, they don't fire the change signal when they changed. Take a look at this example here. We're listening for the change signal of the position property of our ball. And when it changes, when the position of the ball changes, it's going to print a message, position change. But this message here is never going to be printed because, again, physics-related properties do not fire the change signal. Let's play test and take a look. Here we have the ball. And right now it's anchored, so I cannot do anything. But I'm going to wait for it to be unanchored. Then I can move it. See, the ball is moving. But nothing is printing here because physics-related properties don't fire the change signal. Now, the change event is useful for detecting any property change on the part, but if you want to monitor a specific property, the GetPropertyChangedSignal method is more efficient. To use the GetPropertyChangedSignal method, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here. Instead of using the change event, I'm going to change this to part::GetPropertyChangedSignal. And here we're going to specify which property we want to monitor. In this case, we want to monitor the brick color of the part. So we're going to say brick color here. So here we're monitoring the brick color property of our part. When it changes, we're going to connect to a function. Nothing is going to be passed in over here. And here we do not need to check which property was changed because we know which property is changed. It is the brick color. It is the one that we're monitoring. So we can get rid of the if statement. And I can remove this extra and statement here. Let us now play test and take a look. As we enter the game, you can see the brick color of the ball has changed twice already, but I'm going to go and give it a push now. And each time the color changes, you can see a new message being printed. Again, if you want to monitor a specific property of a part that changes, the GetPropertyChangedSignal is the method you want to use. In our second example, where we monitor the anchored property of the part, all you have to do is to change this to anchored. Here are a few more examples. In this case, we have a text label. And this is how we listen for the visual property of the text label. When the text label appears on the screen, we're going to play a very scary sound. In this next example here, we're listening for when the text inside the text label changes, we're going to play a very scary sound. In our final example, I have a local script inside the starter player scripts. Basically, I'm using the GetPropertyChangedSignal to listen for the score, the player score. When it reaches 10, I'm going to play a sound. Let's play test and take a look. So each time I touch this block, you can see the player scores go up. And when it reaches 10, it plays a sound. Guys, that is how the changed event and the GetPropertyChangedSignal work in Roblox.